Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So, to get a few things out of the way first, before we start into our Tobacco Tasters episode, the next Tobacco Tasters is going to be November 27th, and we're going to order some Wilke Pipe Tobacco. It's Maple Plum Spice. So, get on Wilke's website, wilkepipetobacco.com, order you some of the Maple Plum Spice, trying to get something kind of Thanksgiving-y. Is that a word? I don't know. Thanksgiving kind of flavor to it. So we're going to give that one a shot. It's got some perique in it, so it's going to be interesting. It's an aromatic with some perique in it. So that's gonna be an interesting one to try. That'll be the next Tobacco Tasters. Get online and order yours quickly. The next thing is don't forget that in 2 weeks, November the 11th, Cedar Hill, Texas, we are doing our Texas Pipe Show. It's going to be really a great show. Sounds like there's going to be lots of vendors and lots of people to see. The slow smoke contest, you can get more information on texaspipeshow.com. You can Google it and you'll find the website. There's still a few spots open for the slow smoke contest. There's some really great prizes that are going to be with that slow smoke contest. Also, your entry fee includes a free Missouri Mission pipe and a saddleback leather pipe bag, which is worth the money right there. So I'll be there. My son will be there. Please come up and say hi to us. We'll have a table out there for folks to try different tobaccos. It'll be a good afternoon. Starts at 10 o'clock, by the way. All right, so today's episode is Tobacco Tasters. We're doing Warped the Haunting. And this is the 2023 release of The Haunting. A few things you probably didn't know about this tobacco. First of all, this was the first venture for Warped. This was the first one that they put out back in 2018 with Jeremy Reeves and Kyle Gillis. This particular one, there's only 3,200 tins made of this. It's a little bit different. Pretty much the same recipe that has been used before, except that this one has been pressed into a really nice crumble cake. I'll show you that right here. It's got some beautiful reds and chestnut beige colors in it. And it's, like I said, it's in a crumble cake, and it's easy to pinch off a little bit and just break it apart. It's real easy to do. This particular blend has two different types of Virginias. It's got reds, and it's got Canadian Bright Leaf from 2019. It's also got two different types of cigar leaf. It's got the grade double A Dominican Carrillo cigar leaf from 2020, which is a leaf that they use quite a bit for a lot of those warped cigars, and a Dominican grown cigar leaf that has been black Cavendished. So that's kind of the makeup of this particular. There's no flavorings added to this. The strength on this is medium to full. The taste on this is also medium. And we're going to get into a lot of the different things about this one. Now, Nathan couldn't make this one because he's under the weather right now. So you have to deal with me for this particular one. But we'll try to get through it pretty quickly here. And don't forget that if you've got your own comments about this particular blend, please list those underneath in the description so that other folks can get the benefit of that as well. So let's talk a little bit about the tin note on this. You know, this is a really interesting tin note because once I opened this up, the first thing that I smelled was the sweetness of this blend. And there is some fermenting going on. The pressing of all of these leaves helps to kind of speed up the fermentation process. But also the leaves, there's a 2019 Canadian Virginia in there. There's a 2020 cigar leaf in there. And it's just got a really great sweetness right off the bat. I get some tanginess from the reds and earthy kind of scents in there, but that sweetness is just magnificent. There is a kind of a air cured cigar scent in there. I get some really nice baking spices in here, like some cinnamon and maybe some nutmeg. There's a little bit of a cereal kind of smell in here. Kind of a grain smell in this. Lots of tobacco scents. I'm told I haven't tried the original offering back in 2018, but I'm told that this one is a little more subdued tin note than what that original offering was, and it could be to the pressing that causes that. I also get kind of a dark fruit smell in here, like a stewed dark fruit. It's really a great tin note. It really is. This is a cigar-based blend, Virginias and cigar leaf, and I don't get that really heavy cigar scent on this one. This is going to be interesting to try. So I'm going to go ahead and light up, and we'll start talking about that. Today I'm going to be smoking it in one of my meerschaum pipes. A nice big bowl to let everything kind of get mixed up in there. So we'll come back and tell you how the taste is going with this. All right, so when I first lit this, the charring light on this, boy, there's just a beautiful sweetness that comes through. And then as you get into it a little bit, you start to taste a little bit of that cigar leaf in there as well. But, you know, if I was to say if this blend leaned one way or the other, does it lean more towards a cigar leaf or more towards a Virginia? I would definitely have to say that this is more of a Virginia, kind of a pipe smoker's blend rather than a cigar smoker's blend. So some really great earthy tones, woody tones in here, a little bit of spice, not a heavy spice like a peppery spice, more like a cinnamon or a clove kind of spice in this. A lot of the flavors that are in the tin note come through, really does, especially with those red Virginias. It gets a little bit sweeter as I start to smoke down on it. Little vegetal flavors in there as well. Get a little bit of that cereal taste, that grainy taste coming through. There's a tangy from the reds, a sweetness from the reds. Definitely get a little bit of the cigar tastes here and there. The smoke on this one is like the plumes of smoke that come up, really dense. Got a really nice creaminess to it. Every now and then that hint of cigar leaf comes through. You know, some people get really scared when they see the contents of a tobacco that may have cigar leaf in it. This is not one to be afraid of at all. This is a great, great flavor. Really good. As you go down, you start to taste a little bit more of the cigar. Starts to get a little more woody, a little cedary. Also kind of a leather kind of taste in there. I get some toasted nuts in here, like some hazelnut also. Little bit of stone fruit in there, maybe apricot, plum. Definitely get a breadiness. But that sweetness really kind of stays constant all the way through. It's really nice. I love how the cigar plays in and out on this. It smokes like a Virginia, but or a Virginia Perique, but every now and then it reminds you of the cigar leaf in there. It's really tasty. You guys should try this. It's really, really good. Okay, so the room note in this, you know, as I walked out and walked back in after I'd smoked it a couple of times, those baking spices really come through on the room note. It's a pretty pleasant room note. And it slightly lingers. The room note slightly lingers. The moisture level on this was a little bit moist. You could smoke it as is. It was ready to go. Some people might like to dry it out just a little bit. Out of the tin, it was a little moist. But I've tried it a couple of ways. I've tried it with it just coming right out of the tin and then also drying it out. And I think I prefer it slightly moist. When I dried it out more, it got a little hotter, a little more peppery. And some of that sweetness kind of dissipated as well. Nicotine content on this, I don't feel much nicotine going on at all. I'm going to say the strongest of this is probably a medium. I would probably say moderate to medium, somewhere in between there. You know, for Virginia lovers, this can be an all-day smoke. I really feel like it. For cigar lovers, this might be a good transition from people who want to try pipe smoking from the cigar world. This might be a good tobacco for you to transition into, because there's that flavor of cigar leaf in here, but it's not overwhelming. It's starting to lean towards more of the pipe world. Vice versa, those people who maybe would like to try some cigars that are pipe smokers, this might be a good blend for you to start on to get into that avenue. It's really, really good. Yeah, and the cigar leaf is coming out just a little bit more as we go down. This is a great example of what flue-cured and air-cured tobaccos taste like, I think. I've been told that the 2018 version of this aged wonderfully, and this one, I think, has the potential of aging just as well. It'll age a little differently because of it being in a cake form rather than in a loose form. But yeah, this will really be diamonds in 5 years. Now, when this came out, it was about 15 bucks a tin, maybe a little less. But it's going to be hard to find now. That's why I tell you guys a month in advance on some of these, because you have to really jump on them to make sure you get some. But if you got some of this, you're lucky, and you need to make sure that you put some away for later, because it'll get even better. Came in 2-ounce tins. It'll come out again. I think the last time it came out was maybe 2020. And it's going to, it'll probably be a year or two before you'll see this one again. If you do see it, get it. It's worth it. I'm really glad we tried this one. This was our Halloween smoke, the Haunting, Warped the Haunting. And I'm really glad we tried this one, because this one is really a joy. This one has been something that I would come back to more often than not. Be good with a cup of coffee in the morning. Be good with a nice stiff drink in the evening. Man, and it's one of those smokes that as it starts to go down, it gets a little fuller and a little better, more robust, more flavor as it starts to go down. All right. Well, let us know what you think about this one, guys. Post underneath the video and underneath the description in your comments. Let us know what you think. I think this was a home run. This is really a great blend. I'll be taking this one to the Texas Pipe Show and sharing it with a bunch of my buddies down there. All right, guys. Well, this is what we've got for you this week. Next week, we'll have another great episode for you. Until then, don't forget, make all your piping moments count. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.